So UIC is one of the top ranked research universities in the country, what we call Research One. And what does that mean? It means not only will you be working with the best faculty, learning from the best faculty, the cutting edge knowledge in science and in humanities and social sciences and interdisciplinary, but this is one of the only, this is also a sign of how fantastic it is that you have come here. Because in the whole state of Illinois, there are only 4 Research One universities: University of Chicago, Northwestern, University of Illinois Champaign-Urbana, and UIC. So we are in an elite class of universities, which means you've been accepted to the best. It also means if we look at how we're ranked, the Wall Street Journal, as you heard from the Chancellor's remarks, has ranked us top 10 in the whole United States in terms of value. And that means that you're going to get a fantastic return on your investment in coming here. And this list, which he didn't mention, this year we share that top 10 list with Princeton. In the past, we've shared it with Stanford and Harvard and UCLA. And so this is a sign of how the external world views UIC, where we hope you'll be able to come. Similarly, the Wall Street Journal says that we're top 13th in the whole United States in terms of our environment, our diversity, the way that students feel when they're on our campus. So we're the best value and also one of the best feel in the whole United States. So too does US News and World Report consider us one of the most diverse universities in the country, but also one of the best for social mobility, meaning that you will do terrifically well once you graduate. And so our education is about giving you a breadth of education, breadth of knowledge, breadth of experiences, but also to make sure that you'll succeed once you leave. So I also want to know that we are very invested in your success. So if you come, we have all kinds of ways to support you to make sure that you could live up to your full potential in coming. So we have a first year seminar. So every student who's a first year student will be in a small seminar, and there you'll learn all about the university, its resources. You'll get exposure to our career and internship office already in the first year seminar. And by the way, a lot of our first year courses are smaller. So your first year writing is going to be small. Your foreign language courses are going to be small. Your discussion lab sections are going to be small. So we're a big university and some of our classes are big, but a lot of the classes you'll be taking as a first year student are going to be small. We also have, as was mentioned, assigned advisors, which means you will have the name of a person to go to if you have any questions about what courses to take, questions about where you should go to get other kinds of essential answers, such as financial aid. They don't answer those questions, but they'll tell you where to go so that you'll get the name on the first day that you are on our campus of the person you could go to get any question answered. We also have free tutoring. So in math and science and foreign language and writing, if you have any questions, if you want any help, we have free tutoring for you available, and the times and dates are really expansive for that. We have university has a career services office, but as a college, we also have a career services and major exploration and internship office. So if you need help selecting a major, if you want to figure out what you could do with your major after you graduate, if you want help getting an internship, we have these resources for you. We also have a new program called First at LAS. If you're the first person in your family to go to college, we have a fantastic program available for you that will provide faculty mentoring, workshops, excursions, events, ways in which to make you meet other students that are like you, meet a lot of faculty that are like you. We have a fair number of faculty who are first in their families to go to college. And so we're all excited to welcome you and to make you feel welcome once you come. I also want to make sure that you all know that we're really invested in your health and well-being. We're planning on being face-to-face, but we also have saliva testing to make sure that everybody's safe. We'll have vaccines available for students. Our own students are going to be vaccinated very soon, and incoming students will be able to be vaccinated once they're starting to register. So we have all kinds of opportunities to make sure that you'll be safe and secure, and we'll keep you safe and secure as we all come back and look forward to coming back to campus in the fall if health and safety allows, which we're really planning on and we are expecting to do. So by choosing the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, and I know I hear about half of you present have already decided, so yay and welcome, and the other half are still deciding. I hope that this morning will give you an opportunity to have your questions answered, but you should know we have over 40 majors and even more minors. We have the resources here to prepare you for the world after college. And so to prepare you in two ways: to prepare you for a fulfilling life as a lifelong learner with the skills of critical thinking, of learning other perspectives, of learning other colleges, of learning how to write, but also to prepare you for the career. And people who go to the colleges of liberal arts and sciences, they are the top leaders in business. They're doctors, they're lawyers, they're judges. They're people who work in nonprofits and non-governmental organizations. The people who get the breadth of an LAS education are prepared for anything to come after college. And so I hope that you're going to enjoy your morning with us, and we really are here to welcome you and to answer any questions that you might have. Welcome, and we're so glad that you're here this morning.
Thank you so much, Dean Tantillo, for that warm welcome. I would like to proceed to the next step of our event, and we have a student and faculty panel. We have amazing students here that want to share their experiences with you, let you know how they've navigated UIC and the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. So now it is my pleasure to have our panelists introduce themselves. So if you could let us know a little bit about yourself, your name, do you live on campus, do you commute, what are your majors? And we'll get started with Jocelyn. You can go ahead and start us off.
Hi, my name is Jocelyn. I'm a fifth-year senior majoring in economics and minoring in business administration and sociology. I have commuted in the past 5 years, so I am a commuter.
Great. Marissa, would you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, everybody. My name is Marissa. I'm currently a fourth-year neuroscience student. I lived on campus my first year of college, and then the rest of the 3 years I was a commuter.
And Andres?
Hi, my name is Andres Lopez. I'm a applied psychology and criminology law and justice major with minor in kinesiology. I'm in the second year.
Ricky, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hello, everyone. My name is Ricardo, but I also go by Ricky. I'm an English major, and it's also my first year at UIC. I commute to campus, but since it's since COVID, doing classes virtually.
Great, thank you. And if we can have our wonderful faculty member, Sarah, introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Hall, and I am an associate dean in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, which means I work with students on student success programs and help set up college curricula and majors in a way that is helpful for students in making their way through their degrees and learning what they want. I'm also a professor and teach courses in German studies and film studies. It's great to have you here today.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your introductions. I'd like to get started with an easy question. Can you please let us know why you chose UIC? What made you decide to come here? And we'll get started with Marissa.
So when I was in high school, I knew I wanted to be a doctor. So when choosing a university, I really wanted a school that was going to provide me the resources and support in that journey to becoming a doctor. So one reason I chose UIC was the pre-med educational program and course track that they offer. It allowed me to major in anything that I wanted, but also have courses that I knew I had to take in order to get into medical school. So the pre-med track was definitely something that attracted me to UIC initially. But then once I learned more about UIC's campus and its location, I began to understand that it was actually really, really close to the Illinois Medical District. which I knew as a pre-med student would be very useful for me in finding opportunities to shadow physicians, to do volunteer work at the local hospitals, and also to get research experience in a healthcare field. So the two reasons I did choose UIC is the UIC, the pre-med track, as well as its proximity to the Illinois Medical District.
Great, thank you so much for sharing. Ricardo, can you please let us know why you decided to join UIC?
Yes, being a first generation student, it could be said that I was lost and confused throughout the transition process out of high school. And although I had a list of universities, I found UIC to be a fit for me in terms of affordability, as well as there being lots of resources for students like me. In this process, I made connections with a lot of great people in UIC's many programs while enrolling. And as well, as was said before, you'll find that you'll not just have your major and academic advisors, but also many others that are willing to help and support you throughout your college experience and transition, which is also one of the distinctive things about UIC that I chose to be my college.
Great, thank you. Jocelyn, would you let us know why you chose to attend UIC?
Yeah, so I chose UIC because it's at Chicago, one of the greatest cities in all of the US. And because of our close proximity to downtown, I believe we're only a 15-minute train ride down away from it. I also really valued the opportunities that it would offer in terms of like internships, as well as just work in general. We're also centered in the middle of Little Italy, which is south of our campus. We also have West Loop very close by. So it's a very urban area. And with that, it grants us opportunities for a lot of professional development.
Thank you so much. And Andres, can you share why you chose UIC?
So I chose UIC for a multitude of reasons. One of my biggest things is diversity. I really wanted to go to a university where I could like kind of blend in and feel welcomed as a Latino first generation student and LGBTQ member. So I wanted to go somewhere where I could fit in, and definitely these cities tend to be a place where I can kind of fit in. And UIC specifically with the programs that they had. And then secondly, I was a previous neuroscience major, and UIC offered this major, and not many universities did. So this is one of my first picks.
Thank you so much for sharing. And Sarah, would you like to let us know why UIC is an amazing place, please?
Well, my first answer to that is the students like the ones you're hearing today, and those of you who are out in the audience. I wanted to be a professor at a university that offered access and diversity and the kind of social mobility engine that Dean Tantillo described already, that your UIC education gives you the foundation for success in a variety of ways after college. And I wanted to be at a research intensive university where I could be connected with a global network of scholars working on cutting edge knowledge, and where I could bring that directly into the classroom. So it really is a place where I am both deeply immersed in working one-on-one in small groups with students and bringing to them what I'm learning when I'm out going to conferences and attending panels and colloquia all over the world. And so being at a place where I could connect those things. And Chicago is really, really important to me in the work that I do. I'm able to get to film centers and museums and cultural centers and talk to audiences and bring my students together with audiences in the city of Chicago to create a real dialogue that is both academic and connected to the real world and to the things that are important in the city of Chicago. So I knew the second I set foot on campus, it was going to be an exciting and great fit for me.
Amazing. Thank you so much to all of you for sharing why you chose UIC. And I think you all made really great points. Most of our students that we meet with always talk about the affordability, the diversity, and the great academics that we have here at UIC. So we hope that all of you in the audience are able to join us and appreciate all those amazing things about UIC. So now my next question I'd love to ask Sarah is, can you talk to us a little bit about the value of a liberal arts and sciences education and how we as the college prepare students for life after UIC?
Yeah, the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences gives you a broad-based liberal education. And that means that you're going to be exposed to a lot of really fascinating and interesting subjects through your general education courses that kind of take you all over the world, deep into various subjects that you you have an interest in when you sign up for the class, but that you don't realize how much depth and breadth there is to it. But that's all grounded also in a foundation of fundamental classes like your first year student success seminar, math, writing, foreign language, where you gain this really strong foundation for everything else that you take that's ahead. And we have so many majors and minors that you can choose from that all of those things can feed into your direct path to the degree in your area of specialization. So you can combine different minors, different majors, and create either a deeper specialization or a kind of mosaic of topics that you've developed expertise in. And through all those courses, a liberal arts education gives you critical thinking skills, it gives you cultural literacy, it gives you information literacy, and these are the things that are really important for graduate school, professional school, jobs, internships, things like that. You really are the kind of lifelong learner, thinker, and engaged adult that is able to really make an impact in the world and is really valued by those who will be sort of looking at what you've gotten from your undergraduate education. So you've got lots of choices, flexibility, but also really rock solid undergraduate education for life ahead.
Great, thank you so much. I'd love to hear from the students and see how you have seen yourself apply what you've learned in the classroom. Jocelyn, can you please let us know a little bit more about your experience?
Most definitely. So I appreciated Dr. Hall's use of skills that were gained, like critical thinking, because that's something that I've definitely gained from my experience at UIC. We have to take general education courses, and a few of them include English, and that's definitely something that has improved my communication skills. My economics major also has a component of writing in it that has further continued to improve my communication skills. And aside from that, just the amount of projects that were assigned definitely leads to the ability to develop teamwork, leadership, time management as well, and flexibility. So I am an economics major, double minoring in sociology and business administration. So that's really allowed me to acquire different types of skills in those different fields. And with sociology, I became a lot more socially conscious because of that. And I think I appreciate that with just the numerous different forms of diversity in race, gender, religion, sexual orientation, class that I find here at UIC. And those are skills that have been further strengthened through my internships and undergraduate research, fellowships, and also student organizations. So I definitely had a very holistic experience of development at UIC.
Great, thank you. Marissa, I know that you have really great research experience at UIC. Would you share a little bit about your research experience?
Yeah, of course. So during my sophomore year of undergrad, I was very interested in pursuing research as an extracurricular activity and also a way to kind of boost my resume and get more experience in a field. So as a neuroscience major, I think it's easy for students to say that, oh, I'll just do something in neuro or something, in a very similar field, but I kind of wanted to do something different. And I think the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences really allowed me to explore different interests that I had. So I was able to do research in women's health. And so I currently do research in the UIC College of Nursing in the Department of Human Development Nursing Science. And as Dr. Hall mentioned, I was also able, with the flexibility and the variety of courses that UIC offers in the College of LAS, I was also able to take a nutrition course, and which is beyond my major and not something that was required for me. But my nutrition course and my research together really made me focus on my career goals. And I actually did decide my future career based on my elective and my research and not based on my major. So being at UIC and being in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences really allowed me to have a variety of interests in neuroscience and women's health, in nutrition, and all of those experiences, my mosaic per se, really established my career goal as well.
Great, thank you. And Andres, I know that you have a unique story. Well, maybe not so unique because a lot of students go through this, but you came in as a pre-med student and you kind of found your own path. Can you share more about that?
Yes. So LAS, just kind of echo what Marissa was saying with kind of the opportunities given with the LAS college. LAS offers so many different things, so many different fields of studies. So I'm just really interested in so many different things. I started off as pre-med in neuroscience, and I've kind of completely changed now. I really wanted to be a neuropsychologist, and now I'm kind of thinking about going into counseling or something. Um, and I'm doing that with my applied psychology and my CLJ major, or criminology law and justice major. Um, and I'm kind of thinking either going to the criminology field or something. I'm not exactly sure. I'm still figuring everything out. And LAS is allowing me to have this opportunity by exploring the different courses offered. Um, so it's like I'm taking forensics possibly next year, which is a criminology law and justice course. I'm still taking abnormal psychology. I'm learning a lot of different things. So I'm exploring my interests. And LAS, since it offers such a wide variety, I'm also able to then take other classes like music, other passions like art. Um, so I'm able to enjoy kind of my time at UIC while taking courses for my career.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing. And Ricardo is our first year student, and I love to hear his story because as a first year student, he's already learning and applying a lot of the things he's learned in the last 8 months of college. So Ricardo, can you give us a little bit more in depth of what you've learned so far in the last semester and a half?
Yeah, currently I'm in my second semester, but I registered for classes late in my first semester at UIC, so I had to take mostly general education classes. But even so, I found that even by not taking LAS classes related to my English major, the classes that I did take interested me greatly and even helped me improve my writing skills. An example of this is my Anthropology 101 class, in which I was able to write a life history about a family member, something I never really did before. Furthermore, that and many other classes, even in the semester, opened up my eyes to what I could potentially double major in the future.
Great, thank you. And I would like to put in a plug for orientation, which we'll talk about later. Sign up as soon as you can so you can get into all the great classes that you're interested in. But again, we in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, we offer thousands of classes, so you'll have plenty of classes to choose from. And sometimes that ends up, kind of leading you to a different area that you weren't even thinking about. So thank you all for sharing about how you apply your liberal arts and sciences education. So my next question, I know one of the things that we really pride ourselves in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences is how much we support our students, and we have a lot of resources, specifically built to help you be successful and achieve your biggest wishes and your goals. So I would like to ask you, how has faculty and advisors supported your academic, career, and personal development? And if you can share a couple of examples. So I will get started. How about Jocelyn? Can you let us know how we've supported you?
I can't. How long do we have? It's been quite a journey. Like Andres, I came in as a pre-dentistry student and decided potentially biology, and now I'm economics. So I had a wonderful economics professor, Mr. Bill, now retired, that I took during my general education courses. My freshman year, he completely engulfed me into this major that I had no idea what it was about. So the faculty are incredibly supportive. As an economics club president, my advisor has even nominated me for awards that I had no idea about. And even with that, like with internships, it's really been through faculty that are part of LAS and advisors as well that have recommended me resources, have shared resources with me. There's so many incredible offices, the Office of Fellowships that's also like so incredibly useful, the Career Services Office as well that I've had meetings with to discuss like career exploration and also job hunting now that I'm graduating. So I really can't express enough how incredible all the resources are as long as we like do the work of reaching out and asking questions.
Great, thank you. How about Andres? Would you like to share a little bit about your experience?
So yes, I've been kind of exploring a lot of different things, and I've talked to so many different professors. I would definitely say the LAS kind of psychology professors, they are some of the best professors I've ever met. I personally love two specifically, Dr. Baker and Dr. Reutman. Both of those professors have kind of helped me explore my psychology career a little bit. I've talked to them. I've gone to their office hours, and I am possibly thinking about even going into their research lab to kind of explore a little bit more. Um, so, like that's the type of academic support that I've had. But like some personal development is I see my general advisor. I actually have a meeting with her this coming Wednesday to kind of catch up with her, talk to her. So she's helping me kind of go through my like ideas and thoughts. Um, so she's going to help me go over my 4-year plan. I'm also going to see my other 3 advisors for my 2 majors and minor. So it's like I'm constantly keeping my advisors in the loop, and that support system has really helped me kind of develop and and stay in LAS.
Thank you. Marissa, do you want to share about your experiences?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I'm a pre-med student. So I said prior that there is a pre-med track. Well, alongside of this, they offer pre-health advising, and they have advisors that are specific for pre-med students. So first, I had an incredible experience with my pre-med advisor when I was a freshman, actually. A lot of times, you don't know exactly what you're doing, so you want to wait until you're older to see your advisor. But I decided to go in my freshman year, and I was like, oh, well, we'll see what happens. And it was incredible because I was able to just, I didn't really go in there with an intention. I kind of just wanted to talk to her. And I was a little bit worried about that, thinking that she was expecting me to have questions. But I just went in and she was just, we just had an hour-long conversation about various opportunities for pre-med students, different ways to become a doctor, different schools, different GPA requirements. And it was really, really an incredible experience that I feel definitely shaped my undergraduate experience, being able to talk to her and have her as a resource throughout the entire 4 years of my undergrad. But also my major advisor has really helped me a lot. He was able to just, once again, it's just really a basic support system. It's not even I have to go there with specific questions, but someone to just talk to about how I'm feeling, about things that I possibly could have concerns about. Every time I leave a meeting with him, I feel so motivated. I feel like I have the world, I'm just so ready to just take over everything. I feel so good after every meeting with him. So he's obviously helped me plan my courses, but also just kind of figure out what I want to do and how to incorporate different classes into my major experience. And he's also given me so many opportunities to do panels like these and some of his courses. And also just to go to little presentations that he knows about that I didn't hear about. And he always thinks about me, puts me first, always makes sure that I am succeeding. So he's a really great support system. And I feel all advisors at UIC are really just there to help you, faculty members as well. Everyone's looking out for you, and they all provide so much support, and it's definitely gotten me through undergrad.
Thank you so much. Ricardo, would you like to share? I know that you have some experience in our first year seminar. Would you like to share how that supported you, please?
Yes, I definitely agree with the other panelists in regards to the faculty and staff, as well as advisors being great support units and resources, but there's also the LAS seminar classes. To give a bit of context, incoming LAS students can take seminar classes related to academic and student life at UIC. The one I took was called LAS 110, Experience UIC, and my seminar instructor helped my class and I get familiarized with UIC. For me, this was especially important because I was taking classes virtually and I have never gotten the opportunity to more deeply understand UIC itself in person. Furthermore, another focus of the class is to help instruct students in regards to developing academic and professional goals, as well as finding ways to achieve them. for me, this class, as well as the instructor, helped me acclimate to college college life, as well as transition out of high school into UIC.
Thank you for sharing. Sarah, is there anything that you would like to add of how faculty sees their role supporting students?
Sure. It's an interesting situation for faculty members because we have our career track that we've chosen. We went on to get a PhD and to develop a career in research and teaching. And only some of the students that we teach want to follow in our footsteps in that regard. But we have a lot of resources we can refer students to. We have a great career exploration, a major exploration program within the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, so we can connect with those folks to help students explore how what we teach may be applicable to something very different than what we ourselves do. But we can also help students apply the energies that they've put into research and internships and things like that into other careers. And just as I'll give two examples, I had two students over the past few years who were interested in careers in journalism and global affairs. And those were careers that I had explored myself as an undergrad, but didn't pursue. But they were working with me in the minors that they were taking in film and in German. And so together we got them connected with career services and with some advising to apply for those kinds of professional schools. And they both did master's degrees in those respective fields and are now working in those fields. And I was able to accomplish that as a faculty member with my expertise in my discipline, but by working across all these resources that LAS provides in partnership. So it's really exciting to see them go on and do so well in grad school and to land those jobs in global affairs and journalism, respectively.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing. And I think, if I were to just kind of wrap up everything you all saying, as a support member here at UIC, we just really want students to be open with us and to let us know what your goals are, what you want to achieve, because we're all here to help you. And, we have great examples of what our students have shared. So, that's my tip for you all, to definitely share with your advisors, with your faculty, what your goals are, so we can help you achieve them, because that's the way we're going to be able to do so. Just real quickly, because I know we're running a little bit short on time, I want to hear a little bit about your out of class experiences. Maybe if you have any leadership positions that you haven't brought up yet in our questions. I'd like to start with Andres, if you want to share about your leadership experience at UIC on campus.
Yes, so I've had quite a few actually at this point. So I forgot to mention earlier that I am part of campus housing, so I do live on campus. And within campus housing, there is a role called residential assistant. They would be helping you move in, help solve any roommate problems. So that's the role that I actually got hired for next year. And previously I was an orientation leader, so I did see a question in the chat about orientation. Thank you for asking. Definitely we'll get back to you. On top of that, I've been kind of a peer mentor. I'm currently in Lattice Theaters. Such a great opportunity. I love it. And I am applying for the National Communication Coordinator, hope for the Residential Hall Association. So hopefully I get that position as well. All of these positions will help in so many different ways. You gain so much leadership kind of experience, you get communication experience, you learn how to schedule and budget time, because that is so important when in a leadership position, helping other students and residents, and then also on top of that, keeping up with your class. So it's a lot to juggle, but it's a great experience.
Great, thank you for sharing. And Jocelyn, I know that you have a couple of leadership experiences as well, if you want to share that with us.
Yeah, so I actually am a part of the Urban Public Policy Fellowship Program under the College of Urban Planning. Someone can help me. CUPA, Urban Planning, what does the A mean? Administration, I think. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Choir. So with that, I've been able to develop a research project that I actually presented yesterday at UIC's Research and Impact Day, or week actually more so. So I definitely had the opportunity to do my own review of literature. And that's not to say like there isn't the opportunity to do undergraduate research like Marissa, there also is. And like her, I was able to work in the Department of Psychology and receive the Cura Award, the Chancellor's Undergraduate Research Award, which allowed me to be paid for that position. We also have LASRI, the Liberal Arts and Sciences Undergraduate Research Initiative, which provides an award as well and the opportunity to present a project. So we do have a lot of leadership opportunities in expanding our horizons. And in terms of student organizations, like Andres, I'm part of Lattice Leaders, the Latin American Recruitment and Educational Services Support Program at UIC. And that program has allowed me to develop advocacy and civic engagement skills as well. And that has helped me in acquiring my current position, which is as student trustee of the University of Illinois System Board of Trustees. So in that, I've been able to meet with a bunch of support programs like the Gender and Sexuality Center, along with our multiple cultural centers and academic programs at UIC. So it's been an abundance of experiences here at UIC.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And I know Marissa and Ricky, you also have wonderful experiences, but for time purposes, we're going to move on to the next question because I think this one's a really important one. I want you to give tips to the incoming students, the participants right now of, what would you do maybe differently or, just now that you are a pro at college, just a couple of tips. So we can get started with Ricardo. Go ahead and share your tips, and then we'll move on to Marissa.
A tip I have is to take care of your health through self-care, especially if you're taking virtual classes. It's easy to ignore your body, so I find that it is good to always stretch after every class, as well as drink a lot of water.
Great. Marissa?
I would say my biggest piece of advice is to always just ask questions and reach out to people when you need help, or even when you think you don't need help. Just always be willing to be dependent on other people. I think in high school, the teachers really push that, college, you have to do everything by yourself and you'll have to be independent and do everything alone. And although that is somewhat true, it's really important that, regardless of that, you still can be dependent on the people that are there to support you. As I mentioned earlier, advisors and faculty members are always going to be there to support you. So it's important to ask questions. And I think looking back, if I could go back to my freshman year, I would be a lot more dependent on support systems and really go ask questions and go meet people, talk to professors, talk to advisors as much as I possibly can, because they, once again, are always there to help you. And sometimes you don't really know you have a question until you talk it through and then realize that you actually have a lot of questions and a lot of concerns that you need to be addressed. So that's probably my biggest piece of advice, is just to always ask questions and be dependent on people sometimes.
Thank you. Jocelyn, would you like to share your tip and advice?
It's definitely something I started doing my junior year, unfortunately, but take advantage of the abundance of opportunities at UIC. Especially as an underclassman, there's a lot of leadership development opportunities on from like the Student Leadership and Civic Engagement Office that we have here. LAS, the Liberal Arts and Sciences College, also has a bunch of first-year seminars. They have career exploration. They have a lot of resources for students to discover their interests, and also opportunities that are outside of what they think are their interests. Pre-dental here, no longer that. And I think the biggest thing for me is also to just know that you're worthy of those opportunities. That's something I struggled with a lot my first few years, is to think I was good enough for that internship, or good enough for that fellowship, or good enough for that scholarship. There's an abundance of opportunities, and sometimes it's that fear of rejection that kept me from actually obtaining them. And sign up to listservs. I love newsletters. The Career Services Office has internship newsletters that they send out, I think, every 2 weeks or so, and that's allowed me to find my undergraduate research opportunity, actually. So it's definitely great to sign up for newsletters and read the emails. I know there are a lot, but it leads to a lot of opportunities. And yes, so seek opportunities and know that you're worthy of them.
Awesome. Andres, a quick snippet of tips that you have for students?
My biggest tip is time management. Buy a planner, write everything out, read the syllabi, know your due dates, everything. It is so important because some professors will not remind you when due dates are. Others will be constantly reminding you. So it's like, you need to know when things are due. And also, don't procrastinate.
Thank you. And last but not least, Sarah, any tips you'd like to leave us with?
Sure. Go to office hours, student drop-in hours. They have different names, but they are student drop-in hours. Our doors are open, our Zoom rooms are open as faculty for you to come talk to us. Use the learning and tutoring centers, the free tutoring. It is for everyone to work through the material. It's not the principal's office. It's not because you've fallen behind. It's a space to come together with other students, with TAs, with those who are trained to teach, to just work through the material in a group environment. So be in those spaces and talk to us and go through those doors that you might not be habituated to think are open, but they're actually open. And just come in with questions like, how did you get into what you were doing? Or can we just go through the syllabus so you can walk me through it? You don't even have to have a really specific question. You can just say, I'd like to talk a little bit more about this week's material. So come on by, we're waiting for you to come visit us in our Zoom rooms and our offices.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you so much for participating in this panel and sharing about your experiences and your advice and tips for incoming students. We really appreciate all of the hard work that you've done. So thank you so much. And for all of you students, we have a couple of really great things coming up. I'm seeing all the questions come in and I'm so excited. That's what we're here for. We're here to answer any questions. We don't want you to leave here, not having your questions answered. So if you give me 1 second, I just want to share my screen with you to let you know about the next steps in regards to you enrolling at UIC this fall. So we would love for you to submit your intent to enroll. The deadline for first-year students is May 1st, and then June 1st is our transfer deadline. So the really great thing about submitting your intent to enroll at UIC is that there is no deposit, so you don't need to give us any money to hold or secure your seat. You just let us know through the portal that you're going to join us. We also want to encourage you to complete your placement test. After this session, actually, we'll have an orientation and placement test session. So if you want to stay and ask any questions, please let us know. But you do have placement tests required before you're able to do orientation. So please complete those. The next step is to actually complete your UIC orientation modules. They're available now for you to do. Kind of like Ricky had said earlier, the sooner you get them done, the better. You're going to get all your top choices of classes and times, the quicker you get it done. We also would like to encourage you to register for orientation. Registration opens April 15th. Again, the sooner you get this done, the sooner you can stop worrying about it and be prepared for your college semester this fall. And we want you to participate in orientation. Orientation is from June to August. Again, you're here, so that means you are on top of things. So the sooner you sign up for orientation, the better. And then fall classes start on August 23rd. So we're really excited to have you join us. All right, so for next steps, I want to share a little bit about our 11 a.m. session. So if you give me 1 minute, we have a couple of programs. Sarah, would you like to share some information about the academic programs? FYI, we are adding a link right now to the chat. So we are actually leaving Excel events, what you're in right now, and we're going to send you different Zoom links. And so you can choose 1 out of 8 different programs that we have, and you can decide if you want to learn more about your academic program or if you want to get some questions answered about orientation. You can hop around from room to room and learn more information. So that link is going up on the chat right now. And then if Sarah, if you want to walk us through some of the academic programs, that'd be great.
Sure. So we've got 4 different areas for you to explore. In each of these rooms, you will find either the head of a department or a director of undergraduate studies. So someone who teaches, but also really knows how the programs work in these general areas. Representing the humanities, we have the English department, the history department, and the School of Languages. So you can go there to learn about how to study these areas. and what goes on in those classes and opportunities. The interdisciplinary programs are programs that cross between the social sciences and the humanities. So you'll find there Black studies, gender and women's studies, global Asian studies, Latin American and Latino studies. The sciences room includes professors, directors of undergraduate studies, and department heads from what you think of when you think of the natural sciences, biological sciences, biochemistry. So those are both within the Department of Biological Sciences, chemistry, earth and environmental sciences, integrated health studies, and neuroscience. And then within the social sciences, people who study social phenomena and the way that people interact and social phenomena develop. Criminology, law, and justice is one program you'll hear about there. Political science is another, psychology, and integrated health studies, which goes into the social sciences arena. So if you're looking for that, you can find it in two places as well. So hopefully I'll be over in the humanities room, and the students will be throughout these rooms as well you've met. So if you want to follow up with them, that's where we'll be.
Great, thank you. We also have an additional 3/4 rooms. So if you are interested in going into any pre-professional program like pre-health, in the pre-health field like medicine, nursing, or additional ones, we have a pre-health room as well. So you can get all of your questions answered there. We also, maybe you are undecided, or you want to double major or maybe add a minor. We have the LAS Career Development and Internship Office. They have a lot of really great resources that they'd love to share with you. We also have a unique program called First at LAS. It's for first generation college students. I know that a few of our students said that they identified as that. I'm also a first generation college student. So I remember when I was going into college, I didn't even know what to ask. And so this would be a really great place where you can just go and be like, hey, give me information that I don't even know that I need to know. And we'd be happy to give you some of the resources that we have to support our students that identify as first generation college students. And then the last room, I know that in the chat, I saw a lot of questions about orientation and placement tests, or really if you just have any other question and you don't know where to go, feel free to stay in this room so you don't have to go anywhere. We're going to start a presentation in a couple of minutes, going over some more information about orientation, more information about placement tests, and then I'm here to answer any questions via chat, or if you want to, share it, and then I can share them out loud to everyone. But thank you so much for attending this session. We hope that you got your questions answered, that you're excited to join us at UIC. Please, again, go to las.uic.edu/admitted to join. There's like big buttons. All you do is have to click on it, and it has a Zoom link so that you can join all the other sessions. Unless you want to stick around for orientation and placement test questions, then you can go ahead and stay here. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.